Hi, YouTube, and everyone who's here. Welcome back to the recap for Transit Love Season 4. Today we're going to talk about Episode 9. Last we left off, people were coming back from the talking room. They had talked in the talking room, and Wonggyu heard from Jihyun, I don't think he truly loved me. Everybody heard stuff. The emotions are high, okay? Emotions are high right now. So we're going to continue with that. So at the beginning of this episode, we have the decisions for the keyword date. So based on what happened in episode 8, they have different keywords for different people. Each guy was supposed to select a keyword on the table. So like on the table, they gave them a bunch of like paper, and like each paper had like a sentence that one of the girls said when they were in the talking room. And so the guys were supposed to pick the keyword that they thought matched the girl who they wanted to go on a date with. And so this is basically, I'm just basically going to tell you how it ended up getting picked. So Jaehyung picked Jihyun, and she said her keyword was didn't sincerely love me, which was based on what she said in the room. Woojin picked Mingyung, and her keyword was a person who I can learn a lot from. Yushik picked Hyunji. I didn't break down what her keyword was. Whoops. Wonggyu picked Yoonyoung, and her keyword was I like to drink. And then Baekhyun picked Jiyeon. Jiyeon's keyword was I like red wine. The main interesting point here is that Baekhyun didn't go to Yoonyoung's room, so he wanted to date Yoonyoung and couldn't because he picked the wrong thing. Because he went to Jiyeon's room, so he picked what he thought belonged to Yoonyoung, but it belonged to Jiyeon, and essentially he fucked up. And now like he's like, damn. If I had gone to her room, this wouldn't have happened. So that was basically that. Moving swiftly on, we have Jihyun and Mingyung's talks. Like after everybody picks their like keyword date that's going to happen tomorrow, not tonight, Jihyun and Mingyung, they go up to their room and they start like talking about their exes and like how they've been feeling while being here. And Jihyun asks her like, do you want to get back with your ex? Mingyung is like, I honestly don't know. And Jihyun is like, I feel like I don't know either, but I can see that there is someone here who gets along with my ex better than me because I can see it so well. Like it hurts because I always thought like I was the person who suited him the most. But actually now that I'm here and I see it, like I can tell that that wasn't true. And there is someone who suits him better than myself. So you can tell that she is like saddened by that, which I think is like normal because it's like I always thought I was the only one for him, but actually that's not necessarily the case. Like she also goes on to say like she feels like if that's true, then the correct thing to do is to like give him up to someone else who can make him happier because they already broke up. He's already somebody she lost once, so it'll be fine because she already experienced it. Mingyung ends the conversation by saying she doesn't know that she fully understands what the word breakup means. I think the reason that she thinks this is because she dated Yushik for 9 years. And that, like, when they broke up, they were immediately called to be on the show. If you date someone for 9 years, the breakup process is a lot longer than the day you break up. You have to spend, I would say, like at least a year or 2 years getting over that 9-year relationship. Well, even if it's like a friend who you've known for 2 or 3 years, like when that friendship ends or when a relationship, like you normally need some time. And she's fully not had time to process. I think she is still processing her breakup. It doesn't feel real to her. And that's what makes the situation very difficult for her personally. So we're just going to quickly talk about their date. There's not that much to talk about. Like Yushik asked her out by secretly, like he asked her out without like a mission or anything. He secretly like wrote like, let's go out or whatever. He wrote on a note and then he like kind of passed it to her behind a tissue box so she could see it. And when she saw it, she started laughing like crazy. And everyone else at the table was like, why are you laughing? And she had to be like, no reason. And she like super loved that he did that. Then they go out and they eat at a restaurant. Like she's super happy. She's super excited. He seems also happy and he's like relaxed. But I'll be honest, I think he likes Hyunji more than he likes Jihyun because when he's with Hyunji, he's more like nervous. Like I feel like he's more tense. But when he's with Jihyun, he's just like having a good time. I like him better when he's with her, but I feel like he likes Hyunji better. I don't know how to feel about this. I also hate this man. for reasons I've already established and that we will continue to see. So today is the 6th day. I'm only going to talk about 2 texts that were given back and forth today because they're the only ones that are like actually relevant. The first one is that Woojin texted his ex Jiyeon right here that she like looks tired and basically like seems to be worried about her. Then Yoonyoung texted Baekhyun essentially being like, hope you pick me for our date. And Baekhyun is like, I fucked up. Okay, continuing. Okay, so Baekhyun and Yushik are like on the stairs and Jihyun is putting on a face mask. She goes out. They're like, is everyone sleeping? And she's like, I mean, no. And then they're like, well, can we come in? And then so she goes to the other 2 girls, Mingyung, which is Yushik's ex, okay, and Hyunji, who is Baekhyun's ex, and she's like, they want to come in. Can they come in? These 2 girls are like, sure. I feel like you can't really say no. I mean, I guess you could. It's not like they were getting dressed. But anyways, I just thought it was kind of weird. Like, okay, we're walking around our pajamas. All of a sudden, we're going to come in and talk. When you know your ex is here and you know your ex is here, why are we coming in? Coming in to do what? Like, I just don't really get it. Like, when everybody is about to go to sleep, we put on our pajamas, blah, blah, blah. Like, who is Yushik coming to talk to? Like, right now? Are you saying that you're coming in to talk to Hyunji and Jihyun in front of your ex? Your ex, who you know has been having a hard time? I don't think that's right, personally. Like, when everybody's about to go to sleep, it's not even like it's the morning. It's not like it's time to ask somebody out. It's nighttime. These bitches are about to go to bed. What are you doing here? Like, I just thought this was very strange. Like, out of nowhere, we're coming in. Both these men know their exes are here. Why? We can do this some other time. We don't have to do this now. And so Baekhyun starts talking to Jihyun like separately over here at this table. And Hyunji was like watching them talk. And she's like super mad. She's like super jealous. Honestly, yeah, she's super jealous. She can't stand seeing them talk. It bothers her. And Mingyung is kind of like half engaging in conversation with Yushik. She's like, how's it been? How are you doing? Whatever. Yushik is just kind of mostly not talking to her, as he always does. And so Mingyung like starts to think to herself, like, she's been feeling this kind of pressure inside of her. She's been upset. Since she's been upset for a few days, she's like, I have to talk to him tonight. And so she starts to ask him, like, oh, are you gonna leave? And he's like, not yet. And she's like, okay. She goes to Hyunji and she's like, oh, can you come downstairs and get water with me? And Hyunji's like, sure. So the 2 of them leave, and at the stairs, Mingyung is like, can you call Yushik and tell him to go to the balcony? Like, so that I can like talk to him, tell him to go to the terrace, I guess, so we can talk. Hyunji's like, okay. So Mingyung goes, and then Baekhyun comes out and Hyunji approaches him and she like speaks to him kind of quietly. She's like, oh, can you call Yushik to go to the balcony so Mingyung can talk to him there? And he's like, okay. So Yushik leaves and he's like, yo, brother, come over here. And Yushik's like, what's good? And he's like, to the terrace with you. And so he's like, okay. So he goes, oh, but wait. Backing up. When the 2 of them were initially walking out, Mingyung was like to Yushik, are you gonna leave? He was like, no. She asked him like 2 or 3 times. Like 2 or 3 times, are you gonna leave? Are you gonna leave? And he continues to say no. And she gets really upset and she like clenches her teeth. She gives him the nastiest look, bro. So like she's super annoyed because it's like she's clearly giving him signals that she wants to talk to him. And he's just like, no, bro, would it kill you to speak? Y'all dated for 9 years. You can't even be bothered to talk to her for like 30 seconds. Okay. So anyways, she gets mad. She asks Hyunji for help. Baekhyun helps out, blah, blah, blah. He ends up on the terrace. All right. And then we have the fight of a lifetime. The fight of a lifetime. Okay. You see this table behind them? So when he walks in, she was sitting over here. He was sitting over here, right? The 2 of them are sitting. He's facing her this way. You can see that this door is see-through, right? So like initially she's just like, I don't know, like why you're like acting like this to me. We could get along. You keep avoiding me. I just don't understand because we dated for 8 years. And he's like, it was 9 years actually. She was like, this is really what you want to fight about? Are we kidding? Then he gets up and he's like, oh, come over here because everyone can see you out there. So she comes up and you see this, like whatever this bench thing is. There's like this bench thing on the terrace. I don't know if it's like metal or wood or like, I fully don't know what it's made of. But she sits down here and he is like, to this tiny little girl, by the way, please don't forget, Mingyung does contemporary dance just like this asshole. And she is tiny as fuck, okay? This girl probably weighs like 40 pounds. She sits down here and he's like, don't lean on that. You're gonna break it. What? Are you joking? Look at her. It might break her, actually. Are we kidding right now? How can this tiny thing break anything? Don't make me mad right now. Don't make me mad. She walks over here and she's like, I just don't understand why you keep on scolding me and you keep talking to me like I'm shit. And she's like, what did I do to make you act like this? And he's like, can you please quiet down? Like, he's like, I lower your voice because people might hear you, which is like, your priorities are in the wrong place. He's like, you keep making it obvious, like based on your words and actions, you keep showing to everyone that I'm your ex. And she's like, I never made it obvious. And he's like, yes, you did. And he just keeps saying like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. And he's like, what good is it if everyone knows I'm your ex because you make it obvious? And she's like, but I didn't. And he's like, but everyone has already figured it out. Like, he's not listening to her. This is also not what she wanted to talk about, by the way. Not only is he not listening to what she's saying, because she said, I didn't. This is absolutely not what she wanted to talk about and negates the whole point of her bringing him out here after being an asshole. If you're going to bring her into the corner, first thing you should say is, what is it that you wanted to talk to me about? How are you doing? No, hello? How are you? We're just going to start talking shit? What? And so she goes, but the girls don't know, as in don't know that you're my ex. And then he goes, like, he does like a huge like sigh. He's like, why are you acting like someone you're not? Like, why are you acting unlike the person I know you to be? And she's like, how am I supposed to act then? And she was like, oh, if I was making it that obvious from day one, shouldn't you have come to me and talked to me about it? Then I would have stopped doing it. And then he doesn't respond to what she said. And it's just like, don't make it obvious anymore. And she's like, but I'm not making it obvious. And then she asked him, did anyone say, like, is it obvious to you? Did anyone say it's obvious? But he just keeps talking over her. And he's just like, everyone can tell. Everyone can tell. Everyone can tell. Like, totally ignoring what she's saying. And then so she like interjects as he's like ranting like that. And she's like, but you keep showing off that you're interested in other people though. And he's like, who is it? Who am I into? And she's like, Jihyun. And he pauses there because it's true, he is interested in Jihyun. But then she's like, or maybe Yoonyoung, or maybe Jihyun. And then he scoffs because then he's like, well, you're just, in his mind, he doesn't say this out loud, but I feel like in his mind, he's like, well, now you're just listing every girl in the house. Like, she's like, it just seems like everyone, because you're nice to everybody and you buy stuff for everybody. And she's like, when I see that, I'm just like, okay, I see you, okay, like that. When she says that, I think she means like, essentially just feels like he's just trying to look good to the other participants without caring about how she feels seeing him act like that in front of her. And so then he goes, so I can't buy stuff for other people now? And she's like, I just feel like you're ignoring me so blatantly, like specifically me. Then he says, 내가 너를 신경을 써줘야 돼? Which is like, do I have to care about you? Yes. I'm speaking right to you, Yushik, right here. Yushik, look me in the eyes, brother. Look me in the eyes. You dated for 9 years. You're the one who pointed out specifically 9. You do have to fucking care. What? It wasn't 1 year. It wasn't 2 years. It was 9 years. That's half of some people's lives for almost a decade, bro. People have wars for a decade. You don't think you have to care? Yeah, you do, actually. More so than anybody else in this house. Like, I can understand, what is it? Jihyun and Wongyoo dated for 11 months. I think he's showing more consideration for his ex than you ever did. What are we doing? And then he continues and he's like, so after joining the house, do I have to keep on caring about you, and what you think and what you do? And then after he says this, there's like a really long pause. Not a super, but it's like a 30-second pause by Mingyung. You can tell, like, in this moment that her heart has broken a little bit because it's such a cold thing to say to someone you spent almost a decade dating. Remember, these two have never dated other people. They've only ever dated each other. This is her first love. This is her first boyfriend. And he's saying, essentially, why the fuck should I care about you? Nah, this is sad as fuck, bro. It really is. Her eyes, I couldn't even put the screenshot in. I was just like, it's too depressing. In her eyes, you can literally see her heart breaking. It is so sad. And she goes, like, she sounds like she's holding back tears when she speaks after he says that. And she's like, no, you don't. But I was just curious about where your heart is. It's so sad. But she's so good at holding back her tears. I would have started sobbing, bro. This girl, this tiny girl who's like 3 pounds heavy is 3,000 times stronger than I am. Like, I fully would have been like, well, fuck me. I cried her right out the room. Like, and she's like, I don't know where I am emotionally right now. But since you keep avoiding me, it keeps making me frustrated. And that feeling keeps on growing. He's like, honestly, I don't really want to talk to you. And she's like, okay, why? And he's like, well, why should I want to talk to you? Bitch. And then he continues and he's like, it's not like our relationship is magically gonna get better because we talk. What's the point? Watching this, I was depressed. I was like, oh my God. Also, you know what's funny? I was in a restaurant watching this and then he goes like, why should I want to talk to you? And I literally turned and I said, huh? In the biggest voice to my screen. And everyone looked at me and I was like, okay. I was like, I pretended like I couldn't tell that people turned to look at me. Yeah, I was like, my fault. I forgot where I was. Like, I literally said, huh? So usually it's your fault that I was embarrassed in the restaurant. You owe me compensation. And like, since after he says like, why would I want to talk to you? He's like, what are you telling me right now? Are you telling me I should take care of you? And she's like, no, never mind. Just forget it. And he's like, fine, go back in and rest. And she's like, I just want you to think more about what I'm saying. And he's like, okay, fine. Go inside. Go inside. Like he keeps repeating it. And she's like, okay, I heard you the first time. And he's like, why do you always have to have the last word, girl? And she's like, who, me? And he's like, yeah, you. And she's like, but you're doing the same thing right now. And he's like, just leave. Like, why do you keep? And she's just like, why do you keep making me feel annoyed? These days, I can't even sleep properly. My dark circles are down to my chin. And then he gets mad. He gets mad and he starts stomping his foot. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, after she tells him, right, I'm not feeling well. Like, I'm physically ill because we can't talk to each other. Okay. And he stomps his like right foot and he goes, why do you keep adding and elongating the conversation? Just go. And she's like, fine, whatever. And she turns around and she leaves. She leaves. This girl, when she leaves, she looks so sick. I've never seen her look so pale. Then after she leaves, he goes to sit down at this table. He literally throws his phone on the table and he just like goes like, or whatever. He throws his phone so hard that the phone case comes off his phone. Like, that's how hard he threw his phone. I was like, why are you mad? She should be throwing her phone, preferably at your head. She should throw the phone at his face. Bro, yes, she should. Bro, the way this conversation had me heated. I also want to add something. So the clip of this fight was uploaded to YouTube, and in Korean, like, everybody was on Mingyung's side, which is the normal thing to do because he was such an asshole. And then the producers of the YouTube channel took the clip down and they left up other clips where like Mingyung was upset without like this fight. So it's like, it feels like the producers are trying to protect this guy, like make him look better and make her look bad. But no matter what you do, like, we all see the show. He looks crazy. Like, all she wants to do is talk. And you know what the worst part of this fight is? She didn't even get to talk about what she wanted to talk about. The main thing that she's trying to understand is like what his feelings are. In all the interviews, when I recapped episode 1 through 8, remember, he had his clock 70% I want to reunite. But he hasn't been acting like somebody who wants to reunite 70%. From day one, not like day 2 or day 3. It's not like he started meeting somebody and his feelings changed. From day 1, he hasn't been acting that way. But then in the interviews, he goes, oh, like, I saw that the shoes that she gave back to me and it told me that she doesn't want to get back together. Or, oh, she didn't text me, so it means that she doesn't want to get back together. But like, you just don't want to get back together. It's okay if Yushik doesn't want to get back together. That's not the problem. The problem is he treats her like shit. If she wants to have a conversation, she should be able to have a conversation without you getting mad and telling her to like be quiet and to not sit down when she's trying to talk to you. for you to be so like cruel to say like, why should I care about you? Our relationship's not going to get any better. What's the point? Like stuff like this is just like, it's not understandable how you can become this mean after having dated for 9 years. She should be your whole world, but you don't treat her like that at all. Like, and the worst part is she broke up with you. You weren't even the one who ended the relationship. So then that would mean that you wanted to keep on dating, but you're just, what are we doing? I can't understand his actions. I just feel like it's extremely selfish to come in here and just expect that you should like never talk to your ex again and that you shouldn't have any conversations. The whole idea of this environment is to help people who want to like properly process the break up, or get back together. I just 10 years and this is how you're gonna act. Stopping your foot? When he stopped his foot, I was like, that's my 13th reason. I can't. He stomped his foot like a child. Girl, what are we doing? Anyways, this X fight is going to be a lot shorter. It's not really a fight either, honestly. It's more like a conversation, which is why I named it like conversation. So Ujin and Cheon are sitting at like the kitchen table with Jaehyung, the new guy who came in, and they're all talking about how like everyone's having a hard time, and Jaehyung is like, oh, the atmosphere is like bad, and like I like want to get to know everybody, but it's like a bad atmosphere to get to know people. And Jian is like, yeah, everyone's having a hard time except for me. And Jaehyung is like, oh, do you like really not want to get back together with your ex like at all? And she's like, no, not at all. And then because Woojin texted her twice in a row, she asked him, she's like, are you interested in getting back together with an ex or whatever? And he's like, I think I feel similarly to you. But then after saying that, he like under the table, like lifts his foot a bit to touch her foot under the table. They do a little under table footsies essentially to be like, hey, like go out, like so that we can talk. So she gets the signal that he wants to talk. And unlike Yushik, she doesn't act like a bitch. She makes some kind of excuse to like get up and leave, and he gets up and leaves. Initially, they tried to talk at the terrace, but then Chaehyung from upstairs was going to the terrace to smoke. And then he was basically like, oh, I actually want to talk to Jiyeon separately. Notice how he didn't do the shit that Baekhyun did, which was like trying to be quiet or like lie, or like what Yushik did. Like people essentially like lying and being like, oh, I just want to be alone. He just said, oh, I would like to speak to Miss Jiyeon for a little bit, like without giving away that they have any kind of, it's perfectly normal to talk to someone you're interested in separately. You could do that. And Jaehyung was like, okay. And then he was like, actually, we'll go downstairs. You can go upstairs to smoke or whatever. So they go downstairs and they go to like talk in the living room. And Jiyeon is basically like, out of 10, how much do you want to get back together with me? And he's like, before coming in, it was 50-50, but now I don't know. And she's like, I don't know what you're feeling right now. And she was like, in the cafe, when we did like the pre-meeting before coming into the house, it didn't feel like your desire to reunite was 0. And it makes sense for us to have some desire to reunite. And he just goes, actually, it's 100. And she was like, 100? And they start laughing. He says it kind of jokingly. It's not like serious the way he says it, but even though he said it jokingly, I do think he means it. When he talked to her before, he was like, I don't understand how you could have like romantic feelings for someone so quickly. Like, do you really have no intention to reunite? I think he wants to get back together a lot more than he lets on. And I think by saying it jokingly, it was that one moment that he was able to be honest without being vulnerable. But see, if he's not honest with the vulnerability, she's not going to take it seriously. Up until now, she's been like, I don't want to reunite. I refuse to reunite. This is the first time that she's asked him, do you want to reunite? I think the fact that he texted her twice in a row now has like moved her a little bit. It has her a little shaken up. And it's not to the point that it's like she has feelings again or whatever, but if he like genuinely made an effort, I do think that she would slowly change her mind. Like she has been like very stern, being like, I don't want to get back together. I don't want to get back together. But just the fact that she asked that after being like having this incredible wall up, I think shows that if he really put his mind and soul to it, there's like a 10% chance they could get back together. But he doesn't want to fight for this 10% chance. But if he doesn't fight with like 1005% of what he has, she will not even give it a little bit of consideration. So brother, I'm gonna need you to lock in if you actually want to lock in. And he said like, oh, I've been thinking since yesterday how you said like I changed over the course of my relationship, and that I've been trying to understand like if that's because I was busy with work or if it was really because I like lost feelings for you. And she was like, well, why did you text me today? And he was like, I thought about you the most today. And she's like, in the future, I hope you don't text me just because of something as simple as like I was on your mind. She was like, I don't want to tell you what to do because obviously you should follow your heart. But like, if you text me like this, there's nothing I can do for you in return. Basically saying like, I don't know that I can return your feelings, especially if these feelings aren't serious. That's what I got from that. Because that's how she said it, this is how I interpreted it. If you are gonna text me, considering that we are exes, you better lock the fuck in, bro. Because you need to be serious if you're texting me. If you're texting me, it can't just be like, I affected you today. You thought about me today. It needs to be like, you want to get back together with me. You're going to work at the things that made us break up. That essentially is what that meant to me. I don't know if he got that. I think he was just hurt by the fact that she said, like, there's nothing I can do for you if you text me. Because he just like sighs and then he's like, should we go upstairs? And she's like, we're just going to end the conversation like this. And he gets up and he leaves. And then like she sits on the couch and she makes this pouting face that she makes when she's about to cry. It didn't look like she was a bit sad. He could actually think I'm shocked. Because she made that face, it just makes me think like you are not as against getting back together as you think you are. If he really worked his ass off, you would start to open your heart. I do genuinely feel that way. At the end of the day, when they broke up, same thing, even though it was a year, when they broke up, they were immediately casted for the show. So it's been like, a month or something since they broke up? 2 months, and then they entered the house. I don't know how long exactly it's been. It's obvious that even if she's the one who broke up, she could still have feelings. They didn't break up because she stopped loving him. They broke up because she felt like their situation wasn't going to get better. She felt alone, even though she loved him. So I think if he proves that like he can fix that, and then he goes all in on her, there's a chance. But he is not brave enough to risk everything over this chance. I also think part of it is that he's prideful. I think he kind of wishes that she would also want to reunite even just a little bit. If she came to him and said, I want to reunite, he would fold like a piece of paper, bro. If he gets with someone new right now, it's to forget her. Because in his mind, like until a day ago, he didn't even understand why they broke up. So he's only now understanding why they broke up. So she broke up 3 months ago. He broke up last night. You understand? Yeah, this situation is complicated and nuanced, but at least, you know what? At least you're not an asshole. The bar is actually on the floor. Look, help. Okay. This is the craziest part of the episode, all right? Hyunji goes to Baekhyun's room because remember, they agreed the night before to meet up at 3 a.m. and he didn't come. And so she goes to him and she's like, why didn't you come? And he's like, I wanted to come, but people kept on coming into the room. I thought if I like got up and left, it would like be obvious where I was going. So, and we're not supposed to like make it obvious. Like, I'm really sorry. He does apologize like a bunch of times. And she's like, really like, I can't believe this. Like, she's like that, you know what I mean? But he does apologize. And so like he's like, should we go downstairs to talk now? And she's like, fine. And so they go downstairs. They come to this area where they keep like shoes and stuff. So like in Korea, you're supposed to take off your shoes before you go inside the house. So they come to the very front of the house where they have this area to take off the shoes. So the doors are all like closed so they can like talk without having to go all the way outside and be cold. And so he continues to like explain himself and apologize essentially. And she's like, this is not the only thing that I'm mad about. There's so many things that you've done here that I don't get. And he's like, I'll explain everything honestly. And she's like, will you really? And like, she was like, oh, earlier in the kitchen, why did you do skinship with Jihyun in front of me? So let me explain quickly. Skinship in Korean, it's a borrowed English word that they've adapted to mean something different. So when you say skinship in Korean, it means any kind of physical like touch that you do with the intention of, I guess, romantically courting or getting involved with another person. And so she was like, why were you doing romantic touching with Jihyun in front of me? And he's like, well, what skinship? And she's like, you high-fived her. You guys, I know Korea is conservative and shit, but I'm sorry, even in Korea, a high five doesn't count as skinship. She's just jealous, bro. Like, Even in Korea, I know this and I don't even live there. I'm a foreigner, Hyunji. I'm a foreigner. Even in Korea. That's not skinship, bro. That's a greeting. Jihyun and Baekhyun are besties. There's nothing going on between them. He high-fived her and that was enough to make you crash out? Girl, you just say you want him back. Like, enough. Enough! And then I can't believe this. I can't believe she's gonna make me take the side of a man. But it is actually gonna happen, and I'm gonna explain why. This hurts me so bad. Hyunji, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. And so he's like, why do you hate that I high-fived her? Do you want to get back together with me? And she pauses for like a hot minute. And she's like, I don't know. Stop lying, bitch. Come on now. Be honest with yourself. And so he scoffs and he's like, girl, whatever. And she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, you say you don't know, but it feels like you're saying one thing and you're doing another. He's right. I can't believe she made me say that sentence, but he's right. He's right. And she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, whether or not I have feelings for you doesn't matter here. The point of it is that it's inconsiderate to me, who used to date you, for you to pursue someone so obviously in front of me when you could do those actions just like out of my sight. But he's like, but you don't even want to get back together though. Why should me high-fiving someone else even make you uncomfortable? And she's like, are we strangers? And he's like, yeah, we are, because we broke up. And then she starts throwing a temper tantrum like a child. And she like starts stomping her feet and she's like, oh, why are you like this? Oh. And then he's like, he grabs her and he starts laughing, I guess because he finds it funny, but also because he finds it cute, to be honest. And he's like, okay, chill. Like, are you jealous? Is that why? Like, you don't like me, but you're still jealous? I'm just curious because you said you don't want to get back together. According to her logic, if I high-five a man in public, I'm pregnant with twins now. Oh, what do you mean? I'm fucking dying. And then she's like, just doing stuff like that in front of me is like wrong. And so then she references earlier when he came into the room to talk to Jihyun, and she's like, did you have to go into our room and flirt with Jihyun? Like, go out of your way to do that in front of me? Like, that is inconsiderate. But the thing is, he was just talking to her. They are friends. They're brothers. Jihyun and Baekhyun have nothing going on. Anyone with eyes can see that. She's just crazy because she wants him back. And so anytime he so much as looks at another woman, it sets her off, bro. She can't stand it because she is so sensitive because she wants him back. You understand? So everything just seems crazy to her. I mean, she doesn't know that they have nothing going on, but it doesn't, bitch, you're insane. Like, and he's like, if you have someone you like though, wouldn't you also express yourself? Like, you will express yourself to them, even if you're watching out for me, like being around. And she's like, when have I ever expressed myself to anyone? And he's like, but we've never texted each other. And she's like, I don't give a fuck about the texts. Just don't do this romantic shit with other people in front of me, because I've never done that in front of you. And he's like, okay, but the Jihyun thing is really a misunderstanding though. And it sets her off again. She starts going, oh, really? Oh, or whatever. This, like, throws her little fit again. Like she's 5, bro. And he was like, okay, I understand why this could be uncomfortable and seem wrong to you. And he apologizes, like, for not thinking all the way through. And he was like, I would never hurt you deliberately, and I don't even want to do that. And then this conversation happened at night, right? It was dark. They talk about this exact same subject for 3 more hours. They talk about this shit from night to morning, bro, around this one topic. And like for essentially, I don't know, maybe 5-6 hours, bro is groveling. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. Like, you apologized already. We can calm the fuck down. I was like, did you really have to spend like 4 hours of the night and the morning apologizing to her? Because of how shit he has been pretty shit. I'm not gonna lie. He has been pretty shit. He's been really callous with his words and stuff. But I feel like he apologized for that already, and we didn't have to talk about the same thing for 3 hours. She kept him down here for 3 hours because there's something else she wants to hear. I want to get back together with you. Like, do you understand? She just wants to be with his ass. So anyways, while apologizing in the morning, he's like, I will try to be more careful, and I'm really sorry for making you feel bad. But the one thing I can't promise is that I have someone I'm interested in right now, right? Without me realizing it, I might accidentally express my interest to them in front of you involuntarily. So I can't promise you that I won't express myself subconsciously without realizing it. And she's like, whatever. And he's like, it's important to me that we talk things out and resolve any issues so that you can hurry up and get used to this environment. And she throws a fit again, as you can see here. She's stomping her feet, and she's like, stop paying attention to that. That's not what I care about. Like, that's not what I want you to care about. He fixes her hair. So at this point, they're basically acting like a couple that's having a fight. It's kind of crazy. He says like, oh, I'm really doing what I want to do. And she's like, I hate hearing you say that more. And he's like, okay, I get it. He fixes her hair. She goes, oh. And then she sits down on the steps and she's like, you're not the person I remember you to be. And that confuses me so much. She's like, did you tell me the truth today? Like, is everything you said today sincere? And so he's like, what do you mean when I said I have someone I like? And then he's like, yeah, I'm telling you the truth. And then she starts going, oh, and she like starts rubbing her eyes with her hands. Like she's suffering. He's like, after breaking up with you, I couldn't date anyone for 2 years. Like, that period was so hard for me. You know that you were the most important person in my life in my 20s. And she's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, you were my whole world. Why would I bring you here and lie to you then? I have someone I like and I want to do well with her. And she's like, Anya, which is kind of like, nah, no, or whatever. It's kind of her, like, it feels like her trying to deny the fact that this is true, that he likes someone that's not her. And I think she essentially admits that too. And then she tells him, when I first came in, I also wanted to get to know someone after joining, but I didn't think you would end up having feelings for someone this much after you joined. The fact that you could even be this interested in someone else fascinates me. And so they like start to go inside, and he asks her, like, do you feel better after having our conversation? She was like, we resolved our misunderstanding, but I still feel like shit. She still feels like shit because she just wants him to like her. She hates the fact that he likes another girl. Think about this. Remember, this is a guy who wrote letters to her every single day for, what was it, 2 years? Like, we did the math before, 710 letters. I mean, he like did everything for her. He said himself, like, this is the person I love the most passionately in like my life. And so when she dated him, he could only see her. He would live and die by her words. And now he's not like that. He's capable of liking other people. And this throws her off because when she knew him, he could only ever love her. I think that's kind of toxic. Like, for her to feel that way, he's not like an object, he's a person. It is possible for him to move on. I just feel like it's like she's still in this mindset that he is her possession. They're in here and she acts like he's her boyfriend. They go to the kitchen, they're drinking water, and he's like, oh, yesterday and the day before yesterday, I was having a hard time, but after talking to you, I feel better. And he's like, I wish you could be more comfortable. And she's like, me? Then be good to me. Girl, if you don't shut the... As you can see, in this moment, they're like extremely close to each other. Put a wall in. And then he says, what do you mean by that? He's like, do you mean treat you as well as I treat everyone else? And she's like, no. And he's like, are you serious right now? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, it sounds like you're telling me to approach you like romantically. And she's like, why? You don't think you can? Girl, stop playing these games. And he was like how I was approaching you in the past, like it was life or death for me. She's like, no, that's what she does. She goes, or whatever, because she's drinking water. She has the water in her mouth. She's acting all cute while having water in her mouth. I can't. He's like, oh, half of that. And she's like, whatever. She finally solves the water and she's like, half of that. She's like, oh, just as much as we first met. And he's like, back then I liked you so much. Like, when you asked me to go to a movie, I was eating chicken with my friends and I literally abandoned my friends and ran to you so we could go watch a movie. And he's like, then what did you do? And then what she does after this is insanity. She literally goes, and then she throws herself on his shoulder. And she just like nuzzles into his like neck or whatever. What the fuck is this? People could wake up. I know it's like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I don't know. It's the morning. It's early. Y'all stayed up all night. Someone could walk in. We don't care. There's no decency anymore. What are we doing? This is a blatant act of flirtation, okay? especially in Korea. And she's like, then she gets off him and she's like, oh, what should I do? This is so crazy. And then like she's like looking down at the floor or whatever. Maybe she's shy because of what she did. And he like bends down and looks up at her, and you can see like in his eyes there's a saying in Korean which is like "꿀 떨어진다" or whatever, like honey is coming out your eyes, and that literally is what he looks like. He's giving her like these sweet eyes. It's so insane. They just went back to dating this morning. Like they got back together. That's honestly how it feels like. And she goes like, oh, I bet you find this fun. And he's like, if I found this fun, wouldn't I be a psycho? And they go, ha ha ha, whatever. They go upstairs, right? And they're like laughing, blah, blah, blah. He's like, okay, go to bed, go to bed. And she's like grabbing his arm. She doesn't want to leave. And he's like, go to bed, go to bed. And like she, even while moving away from him, she continues to interlock his fingers with him. Like she keeps holding his hand. She don't want to go anywhere. She wants to stay with him. And like eventually, like he finally pulls away and like she goes to sleep. He's a lot more willing to go away than she is. This is so crazy because he's like, I want to meet a new person. She's like, I also want to meet a new person. No, you don't. Y'all want to get back together. The sexual tension in the room during this whole section was insane, bro. They want each other so bad. If cameras were not on, they would have made out and maybe done more. Like he was coddling her and like treating her like she was his girlfriend in that moment. I guess bad habits do die hard. She bothers me the most in this like scenario because it's like, but you want him back though. You do. Like, you want him back. You're grabbing his arm. You're holding his hand. Look at this shit. You're rubbing your pheromones all over his neck like we're in an Omegaverse. Just say that you want him back. Like, on the steps. Well, the real reason she's mad. The real reason she's like, oh, that's not what I want you to say. Like, that's not what I want you to care about. The real reason is because she wants him to say, let's get back together. I still like you. That's what she wants. She doesn't want to be the first person to say it. Do you understand? I hate this passive energy. If that's what you want, just say it. Like, I understand because people are afraid to be vulnerable because they don't want to get hurt. But it's just like, it's this refusal to admit that for the first time in your life, you like him more than he likes you. At least that's what it feels like to her. In her youth or whatever, the whole time they were together, he was always the person chasing her. She's used to that. That was their dynamic. He liked her more. She controlled his ass. But now she can't control him anymore. She can't stand that. I find that toxic. Say it with your whole chest, girl. I agree. If you are gonna do all this, you would do all this, stand on business. Like, at least stand on fucking business. If I'm doing all this, I'm gonna say, and we should get back together. You did all that. You did all this ayo shit. You stomped your feet around. You went, you did all this shit, and you're still not gonna admit that you want to get back together? Stop lying, bro. Like, come on. I mean, she's kind of right. Outside of dates, she doesn't express herself to anyone. Because there's no one here she wants more than her ex. She wants to get back together with him. She just doesn't want to be the first person to say it. She doesn't want to admit that she finally likes him more than he liked her. She has too much pride. And because of your pride, you will lose this man. And low-key, that actually might be good. Because honestly, I can't believe, I hate that I'm taking his side. From episodes 1 to 8, I was his biggest hater, bro. I was Baekhyun's #1 anti-fan. Like, and now I have to sit here and be like, he's right. Do you know how hard this is for me? These two are, and also, like, he was interacting with her back. He's flirting with her back. Look at this shit. Look at his eyes, bro. Look at his eyes. He's flirting with her back. You guys want each other. Just leave the house, get a room, and get it over with. Like, you guys want to get back together. Stop lying. Whatever. I mean, I do believe that he's interested in Yoonyoung because he does have chemistry with her. He is happy with her. But the minute that he spends enough time with Hyunji, all of that goes away. Whatever. I'm making a prediction right now. These two will get back together no matter what. And they will continue to fight and get back together every single day for the rest of their lives. I don't think you can act like this and not get back together at some point. The only way they can get back together is if they never see each other again after this night. Okay, last part of the episode. So we have the keyword dates. We only saw 3 today. The first one we have is Jaehyung and Jihyun. So Jaehyung is a new guy in the house. So they went on a date together. They made like passport holders. It was cute. She was like, I used to build stuff back when I was designing stuff in school or whatever, because I was an acting major. So I'm like good at hammering and shit. And he was like, slay. He like really likes her. And he was like very forward in expressing that to her. And he asked her like, do you have space in your heart for someone new to come in between your ex and the person you're already interested in? And she's like, yeah, I think I do. Like a lot could change in the next, like the upcoming days. And he was like, oh, that's good. Like it's a relief or whatever. So like he really very much heavily expressed that he's interested in her. I don't know how she feels about that yet. Right now, she likes that someone likes her, right? Obviously. But does she like him back? Debatable. We have to see where this goes. Mingyung and Woojin do a second date, and Woojin tells Mingyung, like, I purposely chose you because, like, I wanted to get to know you better. And he's like, I don't date anybody who I don't see as, like, a woman, as, like, a romantic partner. And this really touched her, and you could tell. Like I said, Mingyung's been having a hard time. Her ex is an asshole. So, like, they went and they did, like a waterboat date. Like, I forget what this is called, but, like, you get on this thingy, and you're pulled by a boat, and you just go, wee, on the water. And that was really cute. They had a lot of fun. They went to a restaurant afterwards. They talked a lot. Like, Mingyung, she was like, I felt like my heart fluttered after this date. So this was cute. Then last but not least, we have Wonggyu and Yoonyoung. They did like a personal color test thing where like you go to like someone who is like a personal color expert, and then you put stuff on you and you're like, is this your color? Warm or cool? Warm or cool? Like, are you warm tone or cool tone? This has become like a popular thing in Korea. And so like she like did it for him and he like did it for her, whatever. They went to eat afterwards. It was cute, but there weren't any sparks or whatever. They just had like a good time. So I don't think anything is going to come out of this. He just wanted this date because he was curious if she was interested in him. She likes Baekhyun, so, and I don't think that's going to change. Those were the dates that happened. So just to wrap everything up, we ended with Jihyun and Chaehyung's date, basically, like Chaehyung saying like, I'm interested in you, essentially being very forward and active with her. And I just want to say, like, here I want to do for every episode from now on, today's idiot, where I like pick who was the stupidest and like who did the most dumb shit in the episode. And so we have today's idiots, which are these two. I'm sorry, but like for y'all, the two people who said like you had a really toxic relationship, you broke up, got back together, broke up, got back together. Y'all did a whole lot of weird shit last night. It was just nothing but essentially your relationship. I can already see what it was like. Her whining, him coddling, them going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can tell like how much he loved her. You can tell how much she liked being loved by him. And she misses that energy and she wants it back. But now she has the energy he had and she can't stand it. Y'all are stupid. Just get back together. These are today's idiots, but this is just an asshole. Because he was rude to Mingyung. He refused to hear her out. He stomped his damn feet and he acted like a bitch. So that's what you get. I hope that later when you do the apology tour that'll eventually happen when you go on YouTube, maybe you could admit that some of the ways you approach stuff was really bad and you should have been better to a girl that you were together with for almost 10 years. Anyways, I hope Jihyun ends up with a new guy more in the future because I really don't like him and she deserves better. I want him to go home alone and I need him to reform himself and then he can date somebody. All right, so that's the end of today's recap, essentially. If you guys enjoyed this, subscribe, like, comment, 좋아요, 구독, 댓글 많이 남겨주세요. And I will see everyone next week when episode 10 comes out. Fully, I don't know how this is going to go down. But yeah, bye, 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 bye.